What's going on, guys? This is Real Deal Fantasy HQ with your boy LQ back in for another great episode. In today's episode, we got Jonnu Smith for his fantasy outlook, his breakdown, expectations, ADP, everything that we need to know about Jonnu Smith will be here today to bring home the gold, people. So I don't want to waste any more time, so let's get right into the episode. So we got Jonnu Smith today for his outlook, and I really think that this 6'3", 248-pound tight end for the Titans will be making some noise in this upcoming season. He has some upside, people. He finished tight end 20, nothing too crazy. You don't really win leagues, with tight ends outside of the really top 10, but it's like he has some upside for being that he really cooked up at the end of the season, people. Now, him and Tannehill got a great connection going on. They're actually currently, during this COVID-19 time, building on that chemistry. They're meeting at a local park in South Florida somewhere, and they're actually, neighbors or someone that I'm hearing that they live fairly close to each other where they're able to meet up and actually build some chemistry, practice together, and become like brotherly love friends. You know what I mean? That's always something good I like to see with players, especially in fantasy, for guys to actually build a relationship, hang out, meet each other's families and everything. That's so beautiful to see because it also translates on the field. So prime example, I don't want to be a homer in this situation, but when I found out that Cooper Kupp and Jared Goff were living together for that entire offseason, that really, hit me because I'm like, damn, I really don't know how that would translate to the field. They live together for so long and they get tired of each other. People get, tired when they move in with their friends, but it actually translated to the field to be, Goff's favorite wide receiver to go to, favorite target at that to go to. And we're seeing that now to where Kupp is becoming like the wide receiver one and such. But I don't really think in that Rams offense there will be a clear wide receiver one because the ball spread around so much. But I think Kupp, we can say, is his favorite target. And that actually is something beautiful to see. So I would like to, have that happen with Tannehill and Smith, but I kind of don't think that would happen like that, being that the Titans are going to be a run-first offense. And, you got A.J. Brown there, cooking up. But maybe he's like his favorite target in the red zone. And I love titties or whatever you want to call it, titties, whatever. But I love TDs out of my tight ends, and I love that connection that they're building right now during this crazy crisis time. It's definitely a waiver wire, hero in my book, being that some people were picking him up in like week 10, 11, just because they needed some help at tight end. But he definitely helped you guys out in the playoffs for the people who actually picked him up. So round one, he put up 11.6 points. That is something that I can deal with. I can have, confidence in, with the guy that I just got off for the waiver wire. He comes in and put in 11 points. That makes me feel good because there's, times where we get guys off a waiver wire and they put up duds, 5, 6 points or whatever. And then we're sitting there like, damn, you actually think like that next week, once waiver wire is open, should I drop this guy? And it happens. But Jonnu Smith came in and blew it up. Now, week 2 of the playoffs, round 2 of the playoffs, he comes in and puts in 16.5 points, people, and we can see that chemistry building towards the end of the season once Tannehill came in. Put in 16 points in round 2. That helped a lot of people get to their championship with people that were hurt in that tight end position. There's always that one missing piece that you come out of draft day and think that you can improve in. So when you get a guy and you actually made it to the playoffs and you want to come bring home the gold, get a guy that puts his cape on, gets on your roster, shows up and performs. That is something great to see. And Jonnu Smith did that. Now, championship, comes in and puts in 15.6 points. He comes in hot, people. So I do like these numbers that I'm seeing from Jonnu Smith, and I think he has the upside to actually be a top 10 tight end this season. And I'm not gassing, but I will say I won't do any reaching on him. Right now, he's going in like the 12th or 13th round. So he's not on many people's radar right now. But I will say if you do take the chance on Jonnu Smith, it will probably be a strategy where you already have your tight end one secured. So I will say he's like a tight end 2, a low-end tight end 2 with some tight end 1 upside, some ability, some potential there. And it's like you have to look at it like this. If I'm going to wait on the tight end, in the later rounds, then okay, if I'm going to do that strategy, I'll take the gamble on Jonnu Smith. But if you're a guy who takes a tight end in the early rounds, you get like a Hunter Henry, or if you get even Mark Andrews, or you get one of the big names, why not stash Jonnu Smith, being that he's going in such the later rounds? Not much buzz about him is going on right now. The last thing that we probably heard is that Tannehill and him are meeting up at a local park, practicing together. And that's probably what's going to shoot some of his value up to the sky. So why not, have him in the back of your mind stashed in the later rounds to come in and contribute to your team? He's definitely moving in the right direction. And I hope that this chemistry, this relationship between him and Tannehill build and translate to the field, because it will be something so great to have, as a late round stash, as a tight end that has that top 10 potential and help you bring home the gold, people. So I do like that there's not much buzz right now. He's kind of on the hush. Don't go, going out telling everybody in your league mates. That wouldn't be smart, because there will be some people reaching on him. I mean, if you got a Titans fan, in your league, I'm pretty sure he's going to reach on him. He's probably going to go in like the 8th round. So that's kind of a reach, honestly. Excuse me, burping on video. That's embarrassing. But anyway, so we have to actually evaluate of his actual role in that offense, because like I said before, he'll be in an offense that's obviously a run-first offense. Derrick Henry, King Henry, is going to run the rock at least 20 times a game. And then you have A.J. Brown there, who's also an attractive target that Tannehill will try to use and abuse this season, because he just got paid the big check, so why not use your weapons? You know what I mean? And I think Jonnu Smith comes in as a real red zone threat. He's not like one of those big clunky ass tight ends, that will body you for the ball. He has like a Gerald Everett, again, I'm being a homer, I know, body style, but he's very quick. I mean, he's cooking these linebackers off the line. So I feel like once he's in open space, he has potential to take it to the house. He has speed at 6'3" and a 248-pound tight end. So it's something that I'm very excited to see this next season. And I feel like he will be a great value to get him in the later rounds as a stash. But again, I'm usually not the guy that drafts, 2 tight ends, because you only need 1 tight end for, the entire season. Then you go ahead and grab somebody off the waivers. But I think this year, if I do get a Kittle, if I do get an Andrews, I think I'm still going to stash Jonnu Smith as trade bait or as insurance policy, just in case one of these guys gets injured. I don't want to put that negative energy out there that these guys, those 2 top guys I just named that I won't name again, will get injured. But I think Jonnu Smith is a good stash all across the boards. He's potentially one of my sleepers, probably a deep sleeper if I have to say it. And I think he's definitely going to improve from tight end 20. I don't think that, he'll decline whatsoever. I mean, the targets are available for him. And I really don't see anybody coming in camp, undrafted free agent or whatever, coming in making noise, coming for his throne. I think he is the tight end 1 for Tennessee. So there's no questions about that. But I just hope, I pray to God that this relationship with him and Tannehill translates to the field. That will be something amazing to see. And I love those connections. Who doesn't like the quarterback and tight end, brotherly love? Like, who doesn't love that bromance? Like, I love those connections. Like, we love Brady and Gronk. We could love Tannehill and I forgot his name, Jonnu Smith. Holy shit, how did I do that? But I would love to see that translate to the field, and that'll definitely be exciting to see. And that's really all I got for you guys. I mean, his stats weren't too wowing, so that's why I didn't put it out there. You know what I mean? He had 55 targets, 35 catches, 3 touchdowns. Nothing too great to, brag about to convince you to go get this guy. But to be fair, his snap opportunity did not increase until Tannehill reached the field as a starter, and that's reasonable. You know what I mean? I mean, Mariota wasn't a terrible quarterback. He just wasn't the guy. He just wasn't the guy to use his weapons to scan the field, find a guy, and make the play. But, that's a whole nother episode on Mariota and his future in Oakland, or should I say Vegas. But the future shall tell of how that pans out. And shout out to Tannehill getting paid to hand the ball off. But we shall see what your outlook will look for this 2020 fantasy football season. So that's all I got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Like and share and subscribe for me. All the love helps. It helps me to keep driving, push these videos out. And I got another special episode coming next week for you guys. Please be on the lookout for that. So I'll see you guys next week for another great episode of Real Deal Fantasy HQ with your boy LQ. Peace.